I invite you to come onto your mat now. We're going to start by resting on the front. So just simply bringing yourself down to the ground, stacking one hand on top of the other one, and then resting your forehead on the backs of the hands. If you want to, you can have your toes touching, your heels softly falling to the outside. And an invitation to close your eyes here. Simply arriving, observing, feeling your body relaxing into the ground. Feeling that sensation of becoming wide and soft. Observing your breath. Noticing how the inhales have a sensation of almost lifting you off the ground. And how the exhales just allow you to sink a little bit deeper into the ground. Simply observing your breathing here. And then for the next 3 exhales, I invite you to add a humming sound to your exhales and just noticing how that resonates in that almost little cave that we've created with our face and our arms. So breathing in deeply now. Exhale, humming. Breathing in. Exhale, humming. Last time, inhale and hum. Simply observing the breath. And invitation to keep the eyes closed here. We're going to transition into a child's pose, moving softly and with care, lifting your head off the ground, shifting your hands underneath the shoulders. Very slowly as you inhale, pushing the ground away, coming onto the knees, and then just letting the hips sink down towards the heels. Letting your forehead sink down towards the ground. And simply exploring with the inhales how the breath is traveling along the spine, expanding into the lower back. And how with the exhales, there's a sensation of the hips just sinking down towards the heels a little bit more. And your next inhale, lifting the head up slowly, crawling the hands towards you until you find yourself in a kneeling position at the back of the mat. Eyes can stay closed here. Bringing the hands together at the heart center, lengthening through the spine. And softly blinking the eyes open. And then releasing the hands down to the ground, just a little bit in front of the knees, maybe like a foot length. You can shimmy your knees slightly wider so they're hip width apart now, and then we're going to tuck the toes under. Fingers spread wide and the palms are connected to the ground, and we're beginning to rock forwards and backwards. So as you're rocking forwards, you might feel the sensation in the wrists, and as you're rocking backwards, you might feel a stretching sensation through the soles of the feet. Moving forwards and backwards, and noticing that shift of weight as well from the hands, from the wrists, maybe more into the knuckles and the fingers. And that's really, we want to feel the weight distributed through the whole palm of the hand when we come into different balancing positions later on. If you can do it whilst moving, then I invite you to move the fingers to face to the side now. If you prefer stopping and just readjusting, go for that. And of course, throughout the practice, I invite you to listen to your own body. Move with care. And maybe choose modifications if they suit you better here. But let's have some fun, right? One more rotation. We're going to turn the fingers to face towards the knees. You might want to rock a little bit gentler, a little bit softer now. This can feel quite intense. And an invitation to find a bit more of a static stretch now. So shifting the weight back into the feet now, feeling the stretch through the wrists here. See if you can keep the palms of the hands on the ground, the heels of the hands. If you want to go deeper, invitation to play with bending the elbows here, but remember never to strain anything. And then we're going to roll the hands off the mat slowly. So just beginning by lifting the heels of the hands first. So we've still got the knuckles on the ground, the fingers. You can bend the elbows a bit here if that feels all right. And then peeling the hands. So we're now stretching through the fingers as well. And then slowly transitioning into this toe stand. So if you've got any escapee toes at this point, you can just simply tuck them under. And then we're beginning to shake out the hands. It might feel quite different now. Shaking the hands up and down as well. Nice. And to begin our stretching, to continue our stretching, we've begun already. We're going to bring the backs of the hands together and just letting the elbows droop down towards the ground. So again, you're in charge here. If you want to play with making fists in the hands and releasing them again, you can do that too. And then letting go again. Shake out the hands one more time. Good, and then slowly transitioning forwards, hands land on the ground. Finally, we're releasing those toes, tapping the tops of the feet into the ground a few times. And then finding a good tabletop position. So placing the hands underneath the shoulders, the fingers are spread wide, and the knees are underneath the hips, lengthening through the whole spine. Your gaze is just forwards, just past the hands, so you get a length through the neck and the whole spine. And then let's find some joy in the movement. So as we inhale, extend the left leg back, making sure not to tip the weight into the right hip. And then with your next inhale, reaching the right arm forwards as well. So reaching through the right fingertips, through the left heel, lengthening through the spine. And then I invite you to begin to rotate into your right wrist and the left ankle. So just taking a few movements here. Changing direction, and you're already possibly challenging your balancing here, so just go with it. Beautiful. Coming back to the center. As we inhale, we're going to bend the left knee, pointing the left toes, bend the right elbow, opening the chest forwards, gaze forwards. And as we exhale, we round in, knee comes to elbow. You can always modify with the right hand down. Inhale to open. Exhale to round in. Inhale to open, and exhale to round in. Inhale to open, and this time we stay up. Reach the right hand back. See if you can grab hold of the outside edge of your left foot. And then you can just push the foot into the hand and letting your chest rotate open to the side. With your next inhale, we release again. Left leg extends back, right arm up towards the sky now. And as we exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So bringing the right arm underneath, letting the right shoulders land. The right side of the head comes down to the ground. Flex that left foot, stack the hips. And either just play with your balancing here, or if you want to, you can inhale and breathe that left arm up towards the sky. If you've tipped over, don't worry, just simply try to come back into the position. If it's too much for you, you could always leave the left toes on the ground. With your next exhale, the left hand softly lands next to your face again. And as we inhale, we push the ground away, rotate open again, that right arm up towards the sky. And as you exhale, letting the right hand land. With the inhale, swing the left foot in line with the right knee, let the left foot land. And then with the inhale, next inhale, walking the hands towards you, coming into our gate leg pose. So the left foot is on the ground, both arms reaching up. You can play with just pushing the pubic bone forwards here a little bit, lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, letting the left hand drop to the left leg. And with the inhale, reach the right arm up and over and begin to just slowly fold over that left leg. So instead of collapsing here, I invite you to really reach up and over. You can gaze up towards that right hand. Stay with your breath. Letting the right hand lead. So as you inhale, let that right hand lift you back up again, and the left arm just softly follows. With the exhale, we're going to let the right hand drop to the ground. If you've got blocks nearby and you prefer to put a block underneath the hand, go for that. And then as we inhale, we're reaching the left arm up and over. Again, you can look towards the left hand, lengthening from the outside edge of that left foot all the way through the left fingertips. And then with your next inhale, let the left hand lift you up, moving all the way back up again. And as we exhale, the hands come to the heart center. With the inhale, just softly rotate the foot so the heel is now pointing towards you of that left foot, lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, bend into the left knee, maybe the left elbow touches. And as we inhale, we come back to the center. Exhale, bend. Inhale to come back. One more time. Exhale to bend. And with the inhale, come back to center. With the exhale, let the hands find the ground again. Step that left foot far forwards. You might need to readjust and wriggle the right knee further back. Hands are underneath the shoulders, lengthening through the spine and letting your hips sink forwards and down. You can play with pulling the knee towards you a little bit more. Stay here and breathe. If you prefer soft movement here, I invite you to find that. If you prefer static stretch here, then go for that. We're in lizard pose. With your next inhale, tuck the right toes, lifting the right knee off the ground. Still lengthening, so not much else has changed. And then as we exhale, shifting all of your weight into the right hand, letting both feet point towards the left side of the mat. If this feels really tight for you, you can wriggle the left foot further down towards the center. Push that right hand into the ground. Inhale, lift the left arm up and over, lifting the hips up. And as you exhale, dip the hips down towards the ground and reach towards the back foot. Inhale to lift up and over. Exhale to dip down and reach back. One more time. Inhale, lift up and over. And this time as we exhale, we're just going to spin on the spot, so bringing the hips to land. Right leg is extended and the left knee is just folded over the top. Flex the right foot. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, just climbing your fingertips forwards, letting your chest and your belly sink down towards the left leg. And then breathing here. So we don't have to reach. We don't have to pull. I invite you to let the breath do the work here. So just play with that, inhaling, lengthening, softening, and with the exhale, that just melting down and forwards, and that release of any tension. It's also our moment of stillness. There's a lot of transitions happening, so just when we find these moments of stillness, lean into them. With your next inhale, climbing the fingertips towards you again, coming upright. And as we exhale, we're going to twist open again. So we're coming back out again the way we came in. So that right hand lands behind you, fingers spread wide already. And as we inhale, lifting the hips back up, so we're back again in that twisted Skandasana. With the exhale, step the left foot in front of the right foot. Left arm can just simply be up towards the sky. Shift all of your weight into the front foot and then bend the right knee and extend the right leg underneath. Good. If you want to add a little bit here, you could dip that right foot up and down. If it's too much, play with bending the knee. We're all going to bend the knee now, and as we exhale, let the left hand land and find a plank pose with your right knee in your chest. If you're not quite there, just hop the foot back into position. As you inhale, only let the right knee nearly sink to the ground. As you exhale, pull it back up into your chest. Inhale, nearly down. Exhale into your chest. One more time. Inhale, nearly down. Exhale, pull it back up. Inhale, letting the right knee land. Shift the weight from the hands into that left heel and push that left heel away from you. So we're stretching through the left calf now. Again, moment of stillness. And then as you exhale next, just letting the left knee land to the ground. Shimmy the right knee back. So then line again, tuck your toes, walk the hands towards you and come back into our toe stand. If you need to tuck the toes under, go for it. And then I invite you to bring the hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, lifting the chest up. And as you exhale, bring both hands to the left hand side. Tuck the left elbow, lengthening through the spine, and bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Stay here and breathe. And on your next inhale, straighten the head, move the hands to the other side, tuck the right elbow back, lengthen, and as you exhale, this time, right ear to the right shoulder. Next inhale, come back to the center. The hands come behind you, release, and then slowly bring the hands back down to the ground again. Release the toes. Again, you can tap the tops of the feet into the ground if you want to. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And we'll go to the other side. So flow with me. Inhale, that right leg extends back, making sure not to shift the weight into the left hip too much. Good. Flex the heel. Inhale, that left arm breathes forwards. This time, keep the gaze just softly in front of the fingers. And we're rotating into right ankle and left wrist. We're changing direction. Nice. With the next inhale, bend the right knee, pointing the right toes. Left arm comes into cactus, open to the chest. And with the exhale, rounding in, knee to elbow. Inhale to open. Exhale to round in. Inhale to open. Exhale, rounding in. Last time, inhale to open. And then reaching the left hand back. Maybe you catch the outside edge of the foot again. Push the foot into the hand, letting the chest open, enjoying the twist. And with your next inhale, release the right leg, extend the right leg behind you, flex the foot, left arm up towards the sky. And as we exhale, thread the left arm underneath, letting the left shoulder land, left side of the head. Flex the foot, lift the right leg. And again, play with just stacking your hips here. And if you found your stability here, then invitation to inhale, breathe the right arm up towards the sky. And again, if you fell out, all good, just simply come back into it. On your next exhale, letting the right hand softly land next to your face, fingers spread wide. And as we inhale, opening up again, left arm up towards the sky. And as we exhale, left hand lands underneath the left shoulder. Inhale, swing the right leg to the right side. The knee is in line with the foot. Inhale, walk the hands towards you. Arms breathe up. And with the exhale, letting the right hand just drop to the right leg. Inhale, that left arm reaches up and over. We're beginning to fold over the right leg. Again, you can look up towards the left hand. Let that left hand lead. Inhale, lifts you up. Right hand just softly follows. And then as we exhale, the left fingertips either find the block or the ground. And with the inhale, the right arm reaches up and over. From the outside edge of that right foot through the right fingertips. Let that right hand lift you again. So as you inhale, let that softly pull you up and the left arm just simply follows. With the exhale, the hands come to the heart center. As you inhale, rotate the right heel towards you. And then as we exhale, bend into the right knee, maybe right elbow touches the knee. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale to bend. Inhale, come back to center. Last time, exhale to bend. And inhale, come back to center. With the exhale, both hands find the ground again. Step that right foot far forwards, aligning yourself again. So maybe the left knee needs to shimmy back a bit. Hands underneath the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. The hips drop forwards and down. If you took the option for movement here, then invitation to take that again. If you found stillness, you can play again with just pulling the right knee towards your right arm a little bit more. As we inhale, tucking your left toes, lifting the left knee off the ground. And with the exhale, letting both feet point to the right hand side now. So we're coming onto the outside edge of that left foot. And remember again, you can wriggle the right foot more towards the center. Shift the weight into the left hand with the inhale. Inhale, lift your hips up, reach the right arm up and over. And as you exhale, dip the hips, reach back towards the foot. Inhale, lifting up and over. And with the exhale, dipping down, reach back. One more time. Inhale, lifting up and over. We're spinning on the spot again. As you exhale, letting your hips land, facing the back of the mat once more. The right knee is on top of the left leg. Flex the left foot. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, climbing the fingertips forwards again. And breathing here. Keep that left foot active, so the toes up towards the sky. And again, we're not forcing it, we're just playing with that lengthening as we inhale, lengthening and softening. And with the exhale, we're just allowing more space. And then with your next inhale, we're climbing the fingertips towards us again, coming into upright seated. And with the exhale, twist, bringing that left hand behind you, fingers spread wide. Push the ground away with that left hand, lifting the hips back up. So we're back here in our side plank variation. Step the right foot in front of the left foot. Lifting the hips up, reach the right arm up, shift the weight into the front foot. And then begin to extend the left leg underneath, flexing the foot. If you went for the option to dip the foot and lift it back up again, go for that. If you prefer keeping it bent, go for that. We're all going to bend the knee now, and as we exhale, the right hand lands, the right heel lifts. We're finding that plank pose again. And as we inhale, just letting the left knee softly land, nearly to the ground. Exhale, pull it back up again. Inhale towards the ground. Exhale, back up again. One more time. Inhale, nearly down. Exhale, pull it back up again. Inhale, let the left knee land. Push the ground away with the hands and shifting the weight into that right heel now. So we're again stretching into the right hamstring, right calf. Breathe here. And with your next inhale, letting that right knee softly land, shimmy the left knee in line, tucking the toes under. At what point you let go of the hands, I leave up to you. Climb the fingertips maybe a little bit towards you, shift the weight, lifting up the knees, coming into our toe stand now. Awesome. We're going to play with this again, so if you need the fingers on the ground, go for it. If you can do it without, play with that. It's nice to mess around. So inhale, the knees come to the ground. And with the exhale, lifting the knees back up again. We're going to do it one more time. Inhale, let the knees sink. And with the exhale, pull them back up again. Hands are at the heart center. We're staying. And I invite you to just feel into all of the sensations now. So you might just feel how the weight is shifting, being redistributed. There might be a lot of movement, a lot of wobbling, that's fine. And we're going to try to stay on the tippy toes as we come into standing now. So as you inhale, push the ground away, begin to straighten through the legs, keep on those tippy toes. When you get to the top, maybe reach the arms up as well and gaze straight ahead. Stay with your breath, grow even taller. And with your next exhale, letting the heels softly land as well as the hands find the center of the heart. You can let the hands drop to the side of the body now. Palms are facing forward. Quick check down, checking in with your feet. Toes maybe nearly touch, heels are slightly apart, lengthening through the spine. An invitation here to close your eyes. And then you can imagine or visualize that you're standing on top of the infinity sign or the figure of 8. So each foot is in one of the circles. And you're aligning yourself to the center point in the middle. That means your pelvis aligns perfectly to the center point between the two circles. Your heart is stacked on top of the pelvis and on top of the center point. And the crown of your head is stacked over the heart, the pelvis, and that center point. Just experience your body here. Again, maybe you can pick up on all the tiny muscles, all the tiny movements that keep you balanced here. Maybe there's a lot of movement, that's fine too. Just simply observe it. And then softly begin to blink your eyes open again. As we inhale, we're going to bring the hands together, reach them up. If it feels good, you can go into a bit of a back bend here. And as we exhale, we're folding forward, option to bend the knees if that's what you need. The hands find the ground, and then play with straightening through the legs, holding onto opposite elbows here and just letting the head sink down towards the ground. Invitation to play with either swinging from side to side or bouncing up and down or forwards and backwards. So any releasing movement that you feel serves you here. And then finding stillness, just softly hanging here. With your next inhale, releasing the hands. The hands find the ground. If you need to bend the knees for that, go for it. But we're going to walk forwards into a plank pose, and I want you to shift the weight from each hand to the other one. So feel that contact of the palms of the hands to the ground before you move the next one. So go slow. See if you can just slow down the shifting of the hips until you find your plank pose. If you feel like stepping the feet a bit wider here, go for it. Hands again underneath the shoulders, the heels are underneath, the toes are underneath the heels. Fabulous. One inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, push the ground away, shifting the hips up and back, finding Adho Mukha Svanasana, your first downward facing dog. Play with just your head. Make sure your head is nice and soft here. It's the first one, so if you do feel like walking the dog, feel free to do so. In later ones, I'm going to invite you to find more stillness, but for now, if you need movement here, that's fine. And then we're beginning our flow. So as you inhale, super consciously begin to lift that right leg up towards the sky, pointing the toes. And as we exhale, bend the right knee, pull it to the left armpit. Come to the inside edge of your back foot, step that right foot all the way through. As you inhale, shift the weight into the right hand and lifting the left arm up and over. Play with keeping both legs straight here and rotating your chest up towards the sky, reaching that left hand away from you. As we exhale, we're going to lift that right leg, bend the right knee, pull it into your chest, left hand lands, spin on the left foot, and we're finding side plank, left hand side. Option to just come into a side plank, supported side plank, or if you feel like it, you can grab hold of the right toes and lift the right leg up towards the sky. With your next inhale, if your leg is straight, pull the right knee towards the right armpit, and as you exhale, we're all looking forward, stepping the right foot to the inside of the left hand. As you inhale, bringing both arms up, we're finding high lunge. And with the exhale, we're bringing the right arm back, left arm forwards, finding a twist. With the next inhale, let the right hand drop to the outside of the left thigh, left arm up and over. And as you inhale, breathe both arms back up again. And with the exhale, rotate on the left heel, letting it land and come into warrior two. So reaching through the right fingertips, bending into the right knee. Check your alignment, look down on yourself, make sure you're centered, and then take your gaze over the right fingertips. As you inhale, drop the left arm behind you, legs stay the same, and the right arm reaches up and over. With your next inhale, straighten the right leg, finding reverse Trikonasana. As you exhale here, bring both arms out to the side, shift the left hip away, look towards that left hand and letting the right hand sink down towards the ground. If you're using a block, place it underneath now. If not, just finding your Trikonasana. See if your right eye can see the left fingertips. If that's too much, you can also gaze down towards the ground. Lengthening through the spine. Letting your body find the position. And then as we exhale, that left hand rotates down towards the ground. If your right hand's on the inside, hop it to the outside now. If you've got a second block, you can put that one underneath the left hand now. Inhale, you can either just lift the right heel, so you're more in a lunge stance, or you can hop the left foot a little closer and bring it into 45 degrees. We're going to keep the right leg straight, lengthen through the spine, gazing forwards, and as we exhale, folding over that standing right leg. And then keeping your left hand either on the block or on the ground. And with the inhale, we're going to rotate the right arm up towards the sky. With your next inhale, bend the right knee, shift that left hand forwards with the block if you're holding the block, lift the left foot off the ground and stay in that twist, but floating now. So flex the left foot, reaching the right fingertips up towards the sky, finding Parivrita, Ardha Chandrasana. With your next inhale, again that movement comes from the right hand. Let your right hand pull you up. Left fingertips leave the ground. I'm wobbling today. Breathe that left leg forwards. And then either hold onto the left knee, extend the left arm back, or the right hand grabs hold of the left foot and you can extend the foot forwards and gaze back towards that left hand. Stay and breathe. Play with lengthening, growing taller. And with your next inhale, let go of the foot. Bring yourself back up to the center, arms breathe up. And as we exhale, flex the left foot, hands to the heart center, bend into the right knee, coming into that figure 4 stance and finding a little bit of a stretch through the hips here. So left foot is flexed. You can use the left elbow to push the left knee down gently, lengthening through the spine, seating yourself down. As we inhale, we're breathing back up again. Left knee lifts up, arms lift up too. And as we exhale, bring the left knee behind, step the left foot wide, slide it out to the side. And with the exhale, bring the hands to the ground. Again, option to use your blocks here. Good. Keeping the left hand on the ground. As we inhale, we're breathing the right arm up towards the sky. With your next exhale, the right hand finds the ground again. With the inhale, step the left foot in line with the right one. And with the exhale, folding yourself forwards. With the inhale, rising tall. Arms breathe up, maybe slight back bend. And as we exhale, we're folding forwards again. With the inhale, come to a half lift. And as we exhale, place the hands. If you're stepping back, if you're hopping back, just hop back now. If you're stepping back, step with the right foot first, then the left foot joins. We're all in a plank pose now. And as we exhale, always the option to bring the knees down if you want to. As we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows and begin to float down. Keep the elbows close to the body. We're floating for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then softly land. Releasing the toes. Sliding your hands off the mat. So still shoulder height, but off the mat, coming onto the fingertips here. Forehead is resting on the ground. And then as you inhale, push the pubic bone gently into the ground. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then begin to push through the fingertips, lifting your chest up. And as you exhale, sliding forwards and down again. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, forwards and down. Last one. Inhale, lifting up. And with your exhale, forwards and down. Stack one hand on top of the other. Resting your forehead on the backs of the hands again. And take a moment to let everything settle down. Observing the breath. And then as we inhale, lifting back up again the head, Hands swim underneath the shoulders, option to lift up onto the knees first or tucking your toes. And as we inhale, pushing the ground away and coming back into a plank pose. With the exhale, shifting the hips back and away and finding your down dog again. So this time find stillness here. Feel the palms of the hands pushing the ground away. Feel your hips reaching up and back, softness in the crown of the head. And then we'll move to the other side. As we inhale, consciously lifting your left leg up towards the sky. And as we exhale, bending the left knee, finding the right armpit. With the inhale, flex the foot, step it all the way through. Roll to the inside edge of the back foot, shift the weight into the left hand, inhale, breathing your right arm up and away. So again, try to rotate your chest up towards the sky. With the next exhale, flex the foot, lift that left leg up, bend the knee, we're rotating into side plank. Right hand lands, spin on the right foot, finding side plank, right hand side. And if you again played with the leg up, then grab hold of your left toes, reaching the left leg up towards the sky. Otherwise, inhale, bend the left knee now, put it towards your armpit. We're all looking to the front of the mat, and as we exhale, stepping that left foot there. With the inhale, coming into your high lunge. And as we exhale, twisting open, left arm back, right arm forwards. With the inhale, let that left hand drop to the outside of the right thigh, and the right arm reaches up and over. With your next inhale, both arms breathe up. And as we exhale, rotate on the back foot, let the right heel land, arms come out to the side. So find your warrior again. See that your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Reach through the fingertips, gaze over the middle fingers, keep the front knee bent. Let's reverse it. Inhale, right arm behind you, left arm up and over. Exhale to sink a little deeper. Inhale to straighten the left leg, still reaching through the left fingertips. As we exhale, arms come out to the side, shift the right hips towards the right hand side, letting that left hand sink down. You can keep your gaze on the right hand. See if your left eye can see your right fingertips. Lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, take your gaze to the ground, letting the right hand land. Again, if you used to block here, I hope you did again. With your next inhale, again, the option is to either lift the right heel or hop the right foot into 45 degrees. If you're using the blocks, use them now. Inhale to lengthen, and as we exhale, we're folding over that standing leg. Gently guiding the left hip back. Going for the rotation, right hand stays on the ground or on the block. And as we inhale, breathing the left arm up towards the sky. And with your next inhale, we're bending that left knee, slide the right hand forwards with the block or without, lift the right leg up, flex the foot, and find your balancing here again. So rotating towards that standing leg. Again, remember to let the left hand take the lead. So as we inhale, left hand pulls you up. I'm wobbling here. Left hand pulls you up, right fingertips leave the ground, right knee begins to move forwards. We're switching over. Either the left hand finds the right knee and the right hand reaches behind you, Or again, you can use the left hand and extend the right leg forwards. We're all trying to look back towards the right fingertips and keep our balance here. If you're tipping out, that's fine. It gives you the option to come back again. With your next inhale, coming back to center, let go of the foot or the knee. Flex the foot now, arms breathe up, bend the standing leg, crossing that leg over for the figure of 4 again, and then beginning to sit your hips down. You can use the right elbow again to push the right knee away if you want to. The more you're sitting down here and the more you're folding, the more you might be experiencing this stretch. So just play with that. Nice. With your next inhale, we're coming back up to standing again. So pull that right knee up with you. Arms can breathe up. And as we exhale, bring the right knee behind you. Step it out to the side, in line with the left foot. And then again, folding forwards. We're going to keep the right hand on the ground or on the block. And as we inhale, breathing the left arm up towards the sky. As we exhale, that left hand finds the ground again. With the inhale, step the right foot in line with the left one. See that your toes are slightly closer, your heels are a little bit apart. And as we exhale, we're folding forwards. With the inhale, coming all the way up to standing, arms breathe up. And this time as you exhale, hands come to the heart center. Letting the hands drop open again, palms are facing forwards. Lengthening through the spine, an invitation to once more close your eyes here. Visualizing that infinity sign beneath the feet. And once more aligning yourself, your pelvis to the center on the ground, your heart, and your crown. And experience the stillness that's radiating from the center. And maybe notice that there's less wobbling, less shifting. And then softly blinking your eyes open again. As we inhale, palms come together, arms reach up, option to back bend again. And as we exhale, we're folding forwards. With the inhale to the half lift. As you exhale, place the hands. If you hop again. If you're stepping, step the left foot first. Join with the right foot. Inhale to lengthen in that plank pose, pushing the ground away. Option to bring the knees down. And as we exhale, bend the elbows and float to the ground slowly and softly land. Release the toes, slide the elbows underneath the shoulders, palms of the hands on the ground. And then use the palms of the hands and the lower arms to inhale and gently pull your chest forwards. Almost the sensation that your crown is still reaching up towards the sky. Play with tucking the chin ever so gently and gazing straight ahead. In Sphinx pose. If you want to explore a little bit more for back bend here, keep the hands on the ground, keep the shoulders as they are, and as you inhale, begin to lift the elbows and to straighten through the arms. And come back down whenever you feel ready. And then as we exhale, we're all coming back down. And once again, we're resting one hand on top of the other, Bringing the forehead down and allowing everything to settle. Noticing the breath slowing down again. And then as you inhale next, lifting up your head, swimming the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows stay tucked. Tuck the toes under and either lift into a plank pose with me or finding kneeling first and then coming into down dog. So inhale, push the ground away, lifting up slowly, floating up. And as you exhale, push the ground away. For the last time, lifting the hips up and back. And then we're making our way to the front of the mat. If you want to hop with me, we're going to hop to the outsides of the hands, but feel free to just walk your feet there. So as we inhale, look between the hands, bend the knees, and as you exhale, hop to the outsides of the hands. Letting your hips sink down towards the ground now. And then you can either use the elbows to push the knees apart, bring the palms together, lengthening through the spine, or if you feel like you want to stretch a little bit into the back, then you can also soften here, letting the hands just softly crawl forwards, letting your chin sink down towards your chest. And while you're here in your chosen position, I invite you to maybe just watch me so you know what's coming next. So you can either choose to come into bridge pose, shoulder stand, or you can play with me by really leaning into that rolling, letting your hips sink down, and then play with coming into Halasana from that position, or coming into a shoulder stand. I'll leave that up to you. So whichever version you've chosen of your yogic squat, I invite you now to let go of the hands, reaching them forwards. If you want to come into bridge, please feel free to make your way there now. If you're rolling with me, then just tucking the chin in, letting the whole spine round here. And then it's one fluid movement, so we're just letting the hips drop to the ground and the legs swing up and over, and we're finding Halasana. If your feet are touching the ground, feel free to straighten the legs and walk the feet away from you. The arms are down by the side, palms facing down. If your feet are not touching the ground and you feel unstable here, feel free to bend the knees and just bring your knees towards your forehead. If you want to explore your shoulder stand from here, then invitation to just bend the elbows. Now bring the hands to your lower or mid back. And then begin to extend the legs up towards the sky. If you're enjoying your Halasana, feel free to stay here. So again, the options are yours. We're here for 3 more breaths. If you're in Halasana and you want to interlace the fingers and moving the hands away from you, you can do that too. Whether you're in your bridge pose, in your shoulder stand, or in Halasana with me, we're going to slowly come back out again. So just softly releasing, hands down by the side and floating down with control. Nice. As you're landing, invitation to bring the soles of the feet together, the knees drop to the outside. And we're just coming to rest here on our back in Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand is just a little bit away from the body with the palm facing up. And your right hand, I invite you to place your little finger in your belly button, and with your right big thumb finding your ribs. And then just letting the hand rest. So your little fingers in your belly button. Your right thumb is touching your ribs. And then I invite you to close your eyes here, breathing into that space between the little finger and your right thumb. See if you can, with each inhale, expand into that further. Observing the sensation of the fingers spreading wide as you're breathing in. And the hand relaxing back into the belly as you're breathing out. Last one where you're trying to expand into that right hand. And letting go again. And releasing your right hand from your belly, just letting it drop down, palm facing up, and just stay here, simply observing the breath. And then with your next inhale, the hands come to the outsides of your knees and you're just helping your knees back together. You can pull the knees into your chest for a moment. And then we're coming into Shavasana, so if you do need a blanket or anything, please feel free to grab it now. And then we're just softly extending the legs, maybe wider than the mat, with the toes falling to the outside. The arms so far away from the body so you can have your palms facing up naturally. Invitation to maybe just lifting the hips, lifting the shoulders, placing them back down again. An invitation to lift your head, tuck your chin, and coming back down to the ground again. And then softly closing your eyes. And resting in Shavasana. And bringing all of your awareness to the back of your body. Observing a deep sense of relaxation that's spreading through the back of the body. Through all the points where your body is touching the ground. Deep sense of relaxation spreading from the heels through the backs of the legs. From your glutes, through the whole spine and the back. Through the shoulder blades. Expanding down through the back of the arms, all the way into the backs of the hands. Observing that deep sense of relaxation that's spreading from the back of your head into the neck. The whole backside of your body completely relaxed. And bringing your attention to the front side of your body, all the parts that is being touched by the air. Noticing a deep sense of relaxation spreading from the tops of the feet to the tops of the legs, from your hips into the pelvic floor, expanding into the belly. That relaxation in your chest, in your shoulders, expanding through the tops of the arms, all the way into the palms of the hands. A deep sense of relaxation spreading from the collarbones into the throat, your jaw, your tongue, your cheeks. That deep sense of relaxation in your eyes, in your forehead, the whole front side of your body. Your ears are relaxing. Your eyes are softly gazing between the eyebrow center. Simply experience your whole body soft and relaxed. We're now tipping into complete relaxation, letting go of any efforts. Bringing your attention now to your breathing, simply observe the breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. No effort required, no need to deepen it or lengthen it, just simply observing it. Notice how slow the breath is. And notice how slow the thoughts have become. Softly drifting by, just like the breath. No need to change, no need to interact. Maybe slowly I invite you to turn your attention outwards again, becoming aware of the sounds in the room and beyond, becoming aware of the sensation of resting on the ground. And this time consciously join me for deepening your breath, taking a big inhale and opening your mouth and letting it out. Once again, taking a deep inhale, opening your mouth and letting it flow out. One more time, deep inhale. And let it go. Wriggling through fingers and toes, letting movement find you softly. And when you're ready, rolling to your right hand side, resting for a moment. And then using the hands to push the ground away, bringing yourself back up into seated. If you've got a cushion, a pillow that you wish to use, or a block you wish to sit on, feel free to grab it now and put it under your hips. Finding cross-legged, kneeling, whatever suits you best, as long as you can have a long spine here. And an invitation to place your left hand onto your left knee. Taking your right hand, folding the first two fingers in, using your right thumb to close the right nostril, and your right ring finger to close the left nostril. And we're going to alternate. So simply breathe in through both nostrils with me now. Breathe out through both. Close the right nostril, breathe in left. Close the left, long and slow out right. In right. Long and slow, out left. In left. Long and slow, out right. In right. Out left. In left. Out right. In right. Out left. Press the right hand down to your right knee. Keep your eyes closed. You can turn the palms facing up. You can connect thumbs and index fingers. And then stay here and simply observe. Watching your breath flow in. Watching your breath flow out. If you feel your mind wandering, you can simply say to yourself in your mind, as the breath arrives, I'm breathing in. And as the breath flows out, I'm breathing out. We're here for a few more moments. And then softly moving your fingers, blinking your eyes. You can bring the hands together at the heart center. Extending your hands, rubbing your palms. Placing them over your closed eyes. And blinking your eyes open. Take the palms to the crown of the head, back of the neck, of your chest, over your legs, maybe all the way down to the ground. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice where we explored our tipping points. Thank you. See you soon.